that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Hello, welcome to the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name is Tim Blind. Joining me, Ashley Helper.
Hey, John, excited to be here and excited that you took some time out of the virtual reality to join me in actual reality.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
Worlds are blurring, you know.
Worlds are blurring. I'm playing, obviously, I'm spending as much spare time as I can playing VR, but I also feel like I'm having this time at the moment where I'm very much like, I wish I could just taken a week off to like smash through a bunch of this stuff, because I'll spend some time the next second, I'm like, I'm back to work. Fucking goddamn it. And I'm like, can I take my VR headset to work and just play it on my lunch break, like at a half hour in? Like, is that is that a thing that can?
Is that a thing? You can demo it, like that'll help sell something.
Yeah, I definitely won't let other people use it because they'll get me fucking pink eye probably. But
do you think that's an issue?
Pink eye
from other people, using your VR, is that a prominent thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
If people have like, that's a thing. Yeah. You gotta keep that baby clean, you know?
Okay.
That's why whenever at the cons and stuff, they're wiping it down with alcoholic wipe.
No, that's not, yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah. I know people fighting into their VR
hands.
headsets. I know what people do.
You don't have some hand sanitizer handy? You don't have any alcohol wipes? You can't charge them to the company?
I guess so. I could, yeah.
It's lucky that you got like a free weekend this week, so you can crack into a bunch of stuff.
Fucking hell. What VR came out like the worst time. It's just so bad. I'm gonna be so anyone going to the gamer, what's it called? The gamer or the game?
The Game Expo, which is not a good sign if you
I keep forgetting what it's called. The Game Expo in Melbourne. I will be there, so if you see me, you can say hi. But I don't know. I keep forgetting if it's like, I just know it's the game or gamer. Like, I was like, is it the Gamer Expo? Like, how broy is this? How broy does the expo sound? The Game Expo sounds less broy than the Gamer Expo. So I'll take it. That's good. It's about the title. So I don't really know what's there, to be honest. As the last thing I'm recording,
a bunch of esports. I saw this big Apex tournament.
Yeah, well,
big thing I've seen promoted.
It's like the week up leading up to it, and they keep like just putting out stuff randomly. They're like, "Oh, we got a partnership with these people." I saw Monster Energy drink the other day, and all you got all these like sponsors coming aboard like the 5 days before the event. I'm like, yeah, well, better late than never, I guess. Go for gold, but yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I get to be part of history. It's definitely. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. Right, let me put this out of the way, because this is the last thing I'm recording prior to the show. Arcade Couch is after. I may or may not be on that episode anyway. I've seen a lot of people doing it doesn't look as good as PAX. But duh.
It's a quarter of the price, right?
Yeah, it's a quarter of the price. PAX is into its, I don't know. When PAX started, like 2013? I don't know. Anyway, PAX is like over 10 years old, right?
Had a massive
in Australia,
global corporation behind it as well.
So it had a massive global corporation. Australia version is like 10 plus years old or whatever. This is a grassroots indie convention year one. If you're expecting it to be PAX, I'm sorry, but you're tripping. is the easiest way to put that. So
not to say that there isn't fair criticism.
Oh yeah, they're getting a fair criticism. But if your criticism is it ain't no PAX, I don't think that's a criticism. I don't think that's a legit criticism.
It's like comparing the AFL Grand Final and the weekend local football game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the local competition wasn't as good as the AFL Grand Final. Yeah, duh. Okay, now. So, I mean, look, yeah, I'm intrigued. Obviously, I hope it'll be good, because I as I've said a million times before, having a successfit's Nova convention that's at the top end of the year that could breed another sort of community vibe or whatever, if it's good and people are happy to go to both and whatever else too, like, absolutely nothing wrong with that. We will find out if it's good. I expect it to have a lot of criticisms that they will fix, hopefully, if they get to go for another round 2. But it's just, you got to see what the general vibe is. Like, did they try? Did they are the things that are bad just, things they can learn from, or is it just a mess? We'll find out. Anyway, that's on this weekend. Quickly on VR before we jump into a few of this.
I will say it is concerning that it's like less than a week out, and there's no. They say there's going to be panels. No list of panels.
Still not on the website.
Still nothing on the website.
Yeah, it's a bit concerning. But they keep adding partners. See, this is what I mean. If you go on the website now, it started with like I think those first couple of people. Now they're like, who they got supporting partners? Good Games, EA, Crunchyroll, Ubisoft, Aurora, SteelSeries, Road, Studio Hall.
So guess what? There's going to be stalls for each of these.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, Red Bull's a PAX thing, so at least they get a different energy drink at this one. You know,
that's true.
Well, you get all the little things. They only have Red Bull. They don't have Monster. They don't have Mother. It's just Red Bull's a PAX thing. So at least they're like, nah, fuck it. We got to get a different energy drink for this shit. So, well, that's fair. All right.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I going to say? Oh, VR, right. So I dived into this past week, just a couple of quick things I want to mention. So I played some stuff that I'd played previously, which I hadn't done yet, so for a bit of a comparison. So those two things being, I may have, when I should have been playing new stuff so I can actually write reviews for them, I may have got completely distracted in Tetris Effect once again. Because once I started that up, I was like, well, can I give Game of the Year 2023 to Tetris Effect?
Probably not.
Probably not, I know. Would I want to? I could. It's that good. It's still that good. So this is Tetris Effect Connected, right? So this is the one that came out on Xbox.
Yes.
Series X. So this is the one that had the multiplayer mode and stuff like that. And that I haven't played any of that in VR before. But even the main mode, your main Tetris Effect stuff, visually, the difference, even as someone who hasn't played Tetris Effect in VR for a couple of years now or whatever, the visual difference I felt as soon as I started the game, whoa, wait, like more particle effects and just general vibe, the audio sounded better, like it was just all just bringing back that same, you're just like entranced by the tetraminos, that's what they're called, right? Tetraminos, whatever, I don't know. Find out soon in the movie coming to Apple TV. But yeah, it's so good. So I was like, oh, I'll just try out like the first world of Tetris Effect, and I'll jump out and go play something else that's actually new. And then next second, I'm just like halfway through the campaign mode, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I might as well play some multiplayer stuff. And then suddenly I'm like, oh shit, it's like midnight. I spent my entire afternoon just playing Tetris Effect. So my bad, but also no apologies, because fuck if Tetris Effect isn't good. The multiplayer stuff in VR, very cool too, because playing that on Xbox, obviously it's just your three the main mode connected, really cool idea. So it's you and two other players. You're working cooperatively to fight AI like thing that you usually have in Tetris games, where the villain can like drop blocks and stuff into your thing. But when you're playing three separate games, the connected part is if you power up the bar or whatever and trigger it enough, the three of your three players things all connect together. And then if the person on the far left or right or whatever the middle, they were like nearly out, the other two players can then come in and work together with their blocks to bring that player's Tetris field down, so you can help each other out that way. It's a really cool thing that happened, and like playing it in VR when all the visual effects go off and you see the stuff all connect around you and whatever else, it all comes together. It's really, really cool. So Tetris Effect, still Game of the Year 2019, 2020, 2023, every year Tetris Effect Game of the Year. What else did I play a bit of? I fucking forgot. Oh, Rez. Whoa, Rez. Second best game of the year. I don't know. Rez is one of these weird games that I feel like because you never played Rez, right?
No.
But Rez is like, I feel a must-play sort of VR experience, which is weird to say because it's a Dreamcast game or whatever it was that they remade and redid for VR. But there's just something, it's so simple, yet such a just thrilling sort of VR experience because of the way it all comes together. Because you're just this, it's like this Tron world thing that your character just floats through, and all you do is like you in the normal mode, at least the ones that where they remade the original game levels, is you're still just using the left analog stick to move a cursor around, and then you hold down one button to like lock onto targets and shoot them, and you don't move. It's an on-rail shooter, but it's just the combination of the visual effects, the world, and then the music, because the game has an absolute banger of a soundtrack. And then at the end of I think it's 5 levels or 6 levels, there's like a boss fight and everything like that. But just, it's the music and everything. But the thing that got me with this one, I was like, fuck, I didn't have this the first time I played at VR, is because you got the haptics and stuff in the front of the headset. So every time the character would like dive down and the music would like kick in, you get like this whole like vibration that goes through the front of your skull. And you're like, that's weird, but also cool at the same time. It's like a whole different thing. But then the other res mode is, what do they call it? I can't remember, something X. That's the one they added for the VR mode, where you can actually control and move the character backwards and forwards using R1 or R2. You got to look around a bit more and make better use of your full 360 environment to look around and shoot things. So res is very, very good. Both of these games, Tetris Effect and res, if you own them on PSVR already, they were a couple dollar, or I actually don't remember the cost, but they were not overpriced upgrades for PSVR2. So there's my got way too distracted playing older VR games stuff. But let's get into some news articles for this week. God of War Ragnarok is the most BAFTA nominated game ever, writes PlayStation Lifestyle. God of War Ragnarok has received a whopping 14 nominations at the BAFTA Game Awards 2023, breaking the record for the highest number of BAFTA nominations ever for a game. As for other PlayStation exclusives, Stray received 8 nominations, while Horizon Forbidden West nabbed 5. Elden Ring, one of Ragnarok's biggest competitors for Best Game, received a total of 7 nominations. Last year, the most nominated BAFTA game was Returnal, which had 8 nominations. So it's nominated for Best Animation, Artistic Achievement, Audio Achievement, Best Game, Game Design, Music, Narrative, Performer in a Leading Role for both Christopher Judge as Kratos and Sonny Soljic as Atreus, Performer for a Supporting Role, Adam J. Harrington as Sindri, Danielle Bassetti as Freya, Leia De Leon Hayes as Androboda, and then Brian Hurst as Thor, and then it's also nominated for Technical Achievement. What do you think of God of War getting nominated for all these? Is it deserving of this many awards? Is it going to beat Elden Ring?
I don't think it's going to beat Elden Ring, because Elden Ring's won everything. But again, I think it'll pick up a bunch of those technical awards. And obviously, it's got those acting categories wrapped up. But yeah, I think, probably the 14 nominations is purely because, it's got so many fantastic performances. It like kind of boosts the numbers. Like,
yeah,
that's what, 6 nominees from performance roles. Yep. So, as much as it's a fantastic game, and that you have to take that with a little bit of grain of salt.
Yeah. So what you're saying is they cheated the system by having good performances.
No, I mean
the numbers.
Don't think I said that exactly.
I think that's exactly what you just said. So just
agree to disagree, but all I'm saying is, Elden Ring should have had more characters.
Yeah, that's right.
Should have had little performances, Yeah.
Should have had narrative that makes sense. None of this. None of this. You got to breathe between rounds and watch a YouTube video and fucking bullshit.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't play it, Ash. That's why I changed my mind. So I decided, forget it.
No story. What's the point?
No story, not for me. I decided, I'm a story guy, not a gameplay guy. It's what I want to be in my 30s.
Yeah.
My 20s, different.
But yeah. Yeah, it's interesting looking at the performance lists. The only ones to kind of break through were Alison J. Alva for Horizon and Shalatra Mulholland for the one in Immortality for supporting role. The others 4 out of 6.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Man, what a game.
Good performances there, and a really great list of best games nominees for the BAFTAs. I don't know if you've got it right in front of you.
I don't think I do, so you can read it.
The nominees are Call of the Lamb, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Marvel Snap, Stray, Vampire Survivors.
It's an interesting list, isn't it?
Yep.
It's an interesting list. I feel like Stray's the one that keeps catching people off guard and frustrating people. But like, and I get it to a degree.
Why do they hate cats?
I mean, I don't think it's Game of the Year worthy, but like it was good.
It was played by everybody. That's the main thing, and that's why it's on the list. You know, when you only have a select amount of time to play a certain select amount of games, and this game keeps popping up on everybody's list of games that they played during the year, it's probably going to show up on all the lists.
Shout out to Marvel Snap and Vampire Survivors, though. The two smaller,
definitely not AAA games.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel's like a big IP and all, but
it's a mobile card game.
It's a mobile card game still, yeah. And Vampire Survivors
started for new season.
yeah. And Vampire Survivors is a game that looks like absolute
Bring Marvel
arse.
Snap to PS5 is what we're saying. Yeah,
I hope they do eventually. I'd love to get the platinum. And hopefully I can just auto pop it by syncing my... Because the progress is the same. Like if I play it on Steam and then I log in with my... like as long as you've linked it to your profile.
On?
No, because it's still in like early access or beta or whatever it's called. I don't know. So no achievements yet. But that'd be a good idea. If I said Steam achievements, I'd know what the PlayStation trophies probably would be. So.
Yeah.
In the world where PlayStation consoles were once hard to get, I thought it was interesting. Press start was like Sony's giving away bonus PlayStation 5 consoles with select TVs at the moment. The Sony store has special promo going for the next few days, bundling a PS5 Horizon Forbidden West console with select titles at no added cost. The applicable models are listed below. It's worth noting that there are other sizes and models of Sony TV available from store that are bundled with the console, but these cost...
no, let's put the biggest sizes.
Yeah, we'll put the biggest sizes, yeah.
Instead of going the other route, which would make the most sense, and being like, here's the cheapest possible option you can get a TV with a PlayStation 5. I know what you're doing there, press start. You know, you're putting the most expensive options up first that people click through. Buy the most expensive version. You can get that sweet Amazon affiliates cut.
No, it's the Sony store. So unless they got a Sony,
that's sweet Sony. No money.
Are you saying that press start's paid off by?
You know, I'm saying that they're driven by corporate greed.
There you go.
Yeah, even though they're owned by a massive conglomerate.
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit weird that how weird is it to see stuff like this happening in the world where it's so hard to get PlayStations now? There's enough that Sony's like, we'll just like bundle it in with TVs. This used to be a very commonplace thing you'd see, obviously, you know, like console bundled in with TVs, and like especially for Sony, they'd be like, this is the TV we recommend for the PS4 or the PS5, you know, whatever, and this is the one you should buy, and we'll bundle it in and all that sort of stuff. But we haven't had that. So
sorry, I just clicked all the links. None of them.
Oh, they don't actually. I saw it on the web. I went there myself a long way.
No, must have sold out. So
maybe they sold out. Too late. I mean, maybe they did sell out.
Change story. You could get a bonus PS5 for like 2 things.
There was a period where you could get a bonus PS5. My question is still stands.
I mean, it does go to show that like they're back in stock. They have the ability to give them away. So promotions and that kind of stuff. So if you're in the market for a high end TV, you know, hope you got one.
Especially if it was you know, the fuck is so weird. But the only annoying thing is you have to. Oh no, it's free postage, I guess. So I was about to say, how much do they charge you for? How much do they charge you for shipping a fucking TV? I've never brought a TV. I can tell you, I've never brought a TV online. Yeah, ever in my life. And I probably wouldn't unless I saw it in a shop and was like, "That's the one I want," but it's a lot cheaper to buy it online. Obviously, something like it just seems weird. Like, who delivers it? I can't imagine just like waiting. Like, I don't. I'm very confused. I guess like they just organize.
So it's like the old trying to think of a post delivery service.
Yeah, the Oz Post lives there. Like, how the fuck do they fit it on their
Straight
bikes?
post,
Like,
be like Star Trek. No, Fast Track.
yeah,
Whatever. Yeah.
there's like 10 drones that just all have like wires hooked up to it. Like Amazon just like drops it at your front door like that way.
Yeah.
How weird. Now here's the other thing I was going to bring up in a week where I got weird stories. So you may be like, why is this in here, Dylan? What's this? So the article I've got is Xbox Series S toaster might be on the way. Press start writes. So seems like they write, Kieran writes, yep, it seems as though the folks over at Xbox have taken the idea of theming kitchen appliances after their current gen gaming consoles and run with it. At least if a French website, Xbox Squad, has the facts straight. The outlet posted images of what is reported to be officially licensed new Xbox gear, from a range of Xbox-themed mouse pads to Halo toolboxes and lamps, and even a Series X pencil holder. The flagship piece being the almighty toaster. Now, I think this is bullshit, Ash. What the fuck what can we turn the PS5 into in a home appliance?
Dylan, we don't need the PS5 to turn it into anything. We just need the PS5 to be a gaming console. You know, all these Xbox fans over there look in their console and they're like, I wish this was something else. You know, fucking Xbox Series X. I wish this was a toaster. That would be more useful to me than this fucking console.
If I know fucking goes with this thing, it'd be better off as a toaster.
You know? I don't want Game Pass. I want this console to hold cans of drink. Keep it cold for me. That's all it's good for. I mean,
this guy on Xbox Game Pass, I want to cancel and get a HelloFresh subscription from this Xbox fridge.
Yeah, PS5, just stay the course. You don't need to play these silly merchandise games, you know?
No, you're right. It's going to come on here. I thought I was going to do a bit about like trying to figure out what the PS5 could be. Like what?
No, we did what we were supposed to. We shit talking.
No, you're right. You turned it around. My eyes. You won. It wasn't a test, but you passed. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, very good. So fuck this thing and whatever. Moving on. Jesus Christ. The last story I wanted to bring up, which I thought was an interesting one, like that's happened in the last week, especially paired with something else, another story that's sort of been going on in the background, another little Twitterverse drama thing. So, Push Square writes, Naoki Yoshida is not a fan of the term JRPG. So, in an interview with YouTuber Skill Up, who traveled to Japan to speak to senior development teams, Yoshida was asked how JRPGs have advanced compared to action games. According to the interview, Yoshida was visibly uncomfortable with the phrase. Localization director Koji Fox explained that, quote, one thing Yoshida wants to get across is that when we create games, we don't go into them thinking we're creating JRPGs. We are just creating RPGs. The term JRPG is used by Western media rather than users and media in Japan, end quote. And then Pushback continues, we're certainly guilty of relying on the terms ourselves at times, and we have never really questioned its usage before, considering it's just another neutral description acronym along the lines of MMO. Yoshida goes on to say, as translated by Fox, that some Japanese developers don't like the term, explaining that, quote, this is going to depend on who you ask, but there was a time when this term first appeared 15 years ago, and for us, as developers, the first time we heard it, it was like a discriminatory term, as though we were being made fun of for creating these games, and so for some developers, the term JRPG can be something that maybe triggered bad feelings because of what it was in the past. Yoshida continued saying, it wasn't a compliment to a lot of developers in Japan. We understand that recently JRPG has better connotations and it's been used as a positive, but we still remember the time when it was used as a negative. End quote. With Final Fantasies, where's the part I want? Here we go. Yoshida explains that the term has negative connotations, saying, quote, that it's turn-based, that it's anime-like, these teenagers saving the world, very JRPG. End quote. Did you? What do you make of this whole interview? I thought it was an interesting perspective, not one that I definitely ever thought about, but I guess I can understand the thing, like, because people always JRPGs, you know, anime characters, RPG, you know, like all the stereotypes and all that sort of stuff, and people go, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, if they want to be upset about the term, let them be upset about the term. I think it's very much a shorthand and definitely not necessarily indicative of a game or a genre as a whole, because there are a whole different slate of role-playing games coming from Japan. Obviously, when you say JRPG, you're thinking Final Fantasy, like old school Final Fantasy, turn-based with, you know, Japanese characters. I mean,
well, I guess that's the thing. Like, you can't if you start going, oh, a JRPG is only turn-based, old school stuff like that, then you're sort of you're nitpicky with like a description.
Yeah, it's like a Dragon games, like
they're JRPGs, because it should just be like it's a Japanese role-playing game. Like that's it shouldn't be. It's only a JRPG if it's turn-based and all these other weird things. It's like if it was made in Japan and it's an RPG. But then you have to be like, well, they fucking made the RPGs first. Then why does Western RPGs? Yeah,
why do we get to claim?
Yeah, RPGs and JRPGs have to have the extra.
So it should be sparkling RPGs.
Yeah,
you know how it's champagne's only allowed to be called champagne if it's from Champagne.
The other thing I thought was interesting. Have you seen this G4 review thing that's been going on Twitter?
Yes. Well, I've only seen people upset about Adam Tesla doubling down on this.
Yeah. So I thought this was interesting because obviously, so this like review or this interview happened, and then this G4 review started going around because for whatever reason, and I just thought it was interesting, like because it sort of is, it comes into this. So it's an Adam Tesla review from G4 for Batten Kaitos Origins, a game I've never played, but
a game I'm sure 95% people who are tweeting about this have never played or heard of prior to this.
I will say the review does come across, at least in my opinion, extremely racist and stereotyping Japanese role-playing games. And this is the example, and this is the time period that I guess Yoshida is talking about in this interview from 15 years ago, where he said the term was not something they liked because it was used as sort of discriminatory. And this review's from that time period that he's talking about, like 15 years ago, where it was used as a discriminatory thing. Literally in the review, Cessna Coles like starts making fun of characters' names being like Suke or something like that, and starts making comparing it to Sake, which is I'm not saying he's like, it's not outwardly racist, but it is like that sort of whatever. Like it's you like in that, it's like doing an accent or something. Like it's the same lines of like doing that. Then goes on to call out anime characters, boring characters, big titty girl character, like all the tropes, and like saying, oh, it's just a typical bullshit JRPG. Like, and that's exactly what Yoshida is talking about, like not liking. So I thought that was super interesting. That's been a thing. So yeah, just I like between reading this interview late, like early in the week when it first got posted or whatever, and then seeing that shit going on Twitter, just got me thinking. I was like, that's a very good point. Like, why the fuck do we call them JRPGs? Like, they should be RPGs and we should be WRPGs. I don't know, Western RPGs.
That doesn't ring off.
It doesn't ring off. It doesn't come off. No, but it's a good point. Like, it's a good point. Like, do we only call Octopath Traveler a JRPG, and then the action, like a Final Fantasy game that's the newer ones that are more action based, and people are just like, oh, it's an RPG. I'm like, well, no, it's still a JRPG. Like, you can't it's a JRPG or it's not a JRPG. Was it made in Japan? JRPG. Like, is that not the?
But then what about all the like obviously you've got a bunch of Western studios that are attempting to ape the style of a JRPG. Are they JRPGs?
No, well, they can't be, because it should just be like you're either saying
it's like a collective term, much in the way that anime has become like a diluted term, because every Netflix series that is made by a Western studio, they want to call it an anime.
Yeah. What's the Nickelodeon one? Avatar.
Yeah.
Right. Is it anime?
Or like any of the video game ones they've made recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it. So Crunchyroll had their awards thing. Cyberpunk Edge Runners wins anime of the year, right?
That was made by the Japanese studio.
Was made by a Japanese studio, so I feel like it's fine. However,
Yes.
I was going to say, in a world where that, even though it's based on a Western property or whatever, you know, like, but the studio that did it was Japanese, so it's still anime. That's the difference, I guess, there.
And I guess it aired in Japan on an actual Japanese television.
Yeah. I mean, I follow the same way with anime. I'm like, what is anime? It's Japanese cartoons, right?
Yes.
Is that not the that's the
Japanese
distinction,
animation,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's Japanese animation. That's what we call it, anime. So what's manga? It's Japanese comic books, right?
Yeah.
JRPG. It's an RPG made in Japan. You can't. I feel like it's either you just start using the terminology. You can't suddenly start calling a RPG made to look and sound like a JRPG by some indie studio in America a JRPG. It's not. Even if they by the style, it's the same as this Avatar thing, Nickelodeon. I don't care if you think it's an anime. It's not. It's a cartoon.
But I don't think they called it anime. I think
no, but people started calling it anime. It's like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not an anime.
It's not. Yes.
I understand it's fully influenced by anime, and they wanted it to be the same sort of thing, and they succeeded. Like obviously, people love that show. You like that show, right? All these things. Yeah, it's great. I haven't watched it. I hear it's great. I wish
the live action.
yeah, I was going to say.
Later this year.
See how that goes. Yeah, it's not that. It's not an anime. Full stop. It's a cartoon.
Yep.
It's very weird. And the Adam Sessler thing, fucking weird. But dude doubled down like this.
I mean, yeah, he's a weird dude.
He's a weird dude. I just want to say. Anytime he gets like called
weird.
He like chooses to. Yeah, I unfollowed him.
He his battles poorly.
Yeah, I unfollowed him a while back when it was like he was trying to like someone called him out for something he said like transphobic a while ago, and instead of just like being like, I'm sorry or like whatever, it was just like double down. I was like, okay. And again, here he is like just doubling down for no reason. I'm like,
I mean, I can understand you going, oh, why are people upset about a review that was 15 years old?
Well, I don't know. Someone, the original cause was some YouTuber made a video talking about how, and he used this clip as an example in his video as to how this particular game was unfairly reviewed at the time. I think was the long how we got to this,
how it started there, and then someone would pull that clip out and put it on Twitter
yes. So it's a 50-second clip that was used for a longer, I believe, an essay type video talking about how this game that this person likes was highly unfairly reviewed at the time. Yeah, which is fine. That's a perfectly good idea for a video if you like the game and stuff in context. That's how the clip ended up circulating though. So yes, very interesting think piece. If anyone, not something I ever really thought or put more than two seconds into thinking about why it's called JRPG. So, all right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. Of course, come see me at the Game Expo if you're there. I'll be there doing something. Don't know what, but I'll be there. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you've had about stuff. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you've got about the show. What do you think about the JRPG stuff, all that sort of stuff? Twitters, or the Discords. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord. If you like the episode and want to support Platinum Explosion or ExplosionNetwork.com, you can head over to ExplosionNetwork.com/support. Buy us a Ko-fi over at our Ko-fi page. Until next week, remember, every trophy counts.